listening to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast about one of the most legendary bands of all time, Deep Purple. We take a look at the music, history, and people behind the band Deep Purple and beyond. Welcome to the Deep Purple Podcast, the first and only podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Today's episode is episode number 253, Rainbow Live Between the Eyes. And coming to you from the suburbs of Chicago, home of the Cookie Monster Cookie, I'm your host, Nathan Beaudry.
And coming to you from the suburbs of Providence, I'm your co-host, John Juicy Lips Matola.
And coming to us from the suburbs of Northwest Indiana, the one, the only godfather of rock podcasting, Mr. Chris L.
I did notice the juicy lips on Matola. What's going on with that?
Yeah, it's actually quite noticeable.
I think it was before you had sound. So I have a bit of a cold, so I woke up having breathed through my mouth all night, and I chapped my lips. So now they're very dry. So I just slathered them in Aquaphor.
They're just reflecting the light off of that O-ring.
Wow.
I should have said John Fried Chicken Matola.
Yeah, you look like you just got back from.
Well, you can expect my lips to become lubricated with the subject matter of tonight's or this episode. So
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we're joined. So anybody that doesn't know Chris L, I can't imagine that you don't, but Chris L is one of the three hosts of Pod of Thunder. So of course, if you don't listen to them, you got to check them out, but you probably already do. So Chris, welcome back to the show. I know when I contacted you, you were a little surprised because it was almost like you were riding off into retirement, having covered the three JLT albums, and then all of a sudden there's a new one.
yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but in the parlance of our times, I'm just going to say sorry, not sorry for hogging up all the JLT material on your show. Bumping off any potential other guests to talk about all things Joe and Turner. I definitely appreciate the opportunity and a pleasant surprise. And I'm a big fan of this one. This reminds me of early MTV days. I think MTV came on our cable system maybe a year and a half after it debuted in 1981. So probably around early 83 is when we started to get it. And I remember this show being on, you remember they used to have the Saturday night concert every week. This show is on fairly regular. I remember seeing it at least 2 or 3 times on Saturday night MTV concert. So I'm a big fan of this. I haven't seen it in decades, so I'm looking forward to seeing it again, but I am familiar with it. Big fan of this era of the band, as you all know.
Yeah, well, you got locked in early with the JLT. You know, we asked you to be on the show for, I forgot what it was. It was going to be something else, but then you said something about being a big JLT era fan. So we said, well, let's just start covering those albums. And
Yeah.
you've had a
And just
stranglehold on it ever since.
slid right into being our resident JLT co-host. So
That's right.
I couldn't be more honored or privileged to have that distinction. Never thought it would happen to me, but I'm happy to be that guy for you fellas.
Sounds like you just won the lottery.
Hey, man, I'll take it. I will take all the good things I can get in my life, and this ranks near the top. I mean, I'm definitely I'm, hyperbolic about it, but I'm definitely, like I said, a fan of this era of the band. But, Joe Lynn Turner, one of the great underrated frontmen certainly in arena rock history, if not the entire history of rock, and just a huge fan and glad to be here again.
Awesome. Well, we have a live stream going right now. So this live stream is populated by people that support the show, our patrons. You can support our show a number of ways. One is by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Another is buying some merch on our Etsy store, but also become a patron on Patreon or on PayPal for as little as $1 a month. Help support the show. Big update, more parts are on the way for the new studio computer. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably be putting it together. And the overall result for our listeners will probably be nothing, but the result for us and the ease of making the show and having this computer not die suddenly will be huge. So excited about that. So our show is 100% listener supported and ad free. So if you want to continue the show that way, help support us, you can do so by donating. Some little patron announcements. So one of them is that we had Ashley, Still I Hear Burn, Rose is going for the
patron upgrade.
That's right. She upgraded from the $1 tier to the $3 Nobody's Perfect tier. And she says, hey, Nate, hope you're doing well. So I asked her, why did you decide to upgrade? She said, I got to be honest, I was laughing at John's Jennifer Coolidge impression and then was sold on the random painter calling to check in on the 911 or 911 alert. So I recently just got a pay bump at work, and seeing as all I do is listen to podcasts all day, I have you guys to thank for my pay bump by keeping me occupied and laughing. Also felt fitting to upgrade one of my favorite album episodes. This was right after the Dio Holy Diver episode. Thanks for all you guys do. Hope to catch you guys soon. So, John, you know what this means?
This means that she clearly hasn't heard Rich's daughter's Jennifer Coolidge yet.
It's much better.
If you liked mine, you'll love hers. It's much more authentic. But what does this mean?
You're officially a professional impressionist because it's actually earned the show money.
Hey, just
you're Jennifer Coolidge.
Call me Rich Little, Frank Caliendo. Who else? Who else does impressions? Me, John Matola.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And I also have to chime in here and say that I'm impressed that you have as a listener of your show, the only woman who's ever consumed Dio material.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, because that's one of the things I say, like when guitar nerds get all bent out of shape, pun intended, about when they talk about Vivian Campbell, slumming it in Def Leppard. It's like he doesn't do any of his shred solos like he did with Dio, and I'm like, yeah, I think maybe for a change he wanted to look out in the audience and see some women. So you can't really fault him for that.
I'm sure between the female fan base and the paycheck, he's quite okay with
the
decision.
Yeah, the paycheck speaks for itself, but kind of nice as a guitar player myself. Retired though, but I always like to look out in the crowd and see some females. I don't know about anybody else out there, but I think Vivian probably came around to that way of thinking when he joined Whitesnake, of course, but then on to Def Leppard. So the guitar nerds can just shut it about his career move.
Yeah, like your story about the King Crimson concert.
Oh yeah.
Nate, did I ever tell you about what your cousin Jeff said about Vivian Campbell? Like years ago, he saw this. It must have been a Def Leppard documentary, and they were interviewing him, and they were going through his history, and he's just like, "Yeah, I was glad to move on to bands like Whitesnake or Dio, so everything didn't have to be." And
exactly.
He thought that was the fucking funniest thing. We were used to be imagine Jeff doing it too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Like doing the horns and like the vampire hiss. So
I think Zoom cut out the hiss for you, but that'll be on that's a special feature for you audio listeners. I've got to imagine being in Def Leppard has its benefits.
I'm sure.
And I think probably just like the overall drama and everything too, and not knowing, I'm sure he's got a pretty solid paycheck. We had Purple Swede join us last week at the $3.33 halfway to evil tier, so thank you very much. And just a shout out to our executive level patrons before we move on. At the in memoriam tier, we've got Gerald, Jerry, Kelly, and family. At the $25 uncommon man tier, Ovis Nakvi and Purple Maniac. At the 15 squid tier, we have Alan. At the $10 Good Doctor tier, Dr. Mike Catan, who's in the chat right now, and will be joining me in just a few days at Glen Hughes. So excited about that.
Nice.
We've got at the Turn It Up to $11 tier, Clay Wambacher, Frank Thielgart Mortensen, Mikkel Steen, Will Porter, PhDPP, and Michael Bagford. Also in the chat. At the $10 Someone Came tier, we have Ryan M, who will also be joining me at Glenn Hughes, Jeff Bryce, Victor Campos, Better Call Saul Evans, and Peter from Illinois, the last person that will be joining me at Glenn Hughes. And at the Hughesoween by 2033 tier, we have the one and the only Fielding Fowler. Thank you so much to everybody for your generous support of the Deep Purple podcast.
Is that Glenn Hughes show? Is that going to be at the Arcada Theater?
Yes. Yep.
Wonderful venue. Seen
Yeah, I don't think
many
I've ever
shows
been.
there. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll enjoy it. Very classic. From the theater from the Prohibition days. I think it's coming. If it hasn't already had it, it's coming up on its 100th anniversary. Very old school building.
Excellent.
Great place to see a show, so that'll be good.
I can't wait. Well, when this comes out, I will have already seen the show. So, yeah, we'll have you a full review on the next episode.
No spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's gonna play.
Think he's gonna play Burn?
He's probably gonna play Highway Star too. Yeah, he would definitely play Burn. And then I'm going to see Vi Satriani in April, so looking forward to that one as well. Playing in Chicago as they announce their kind of Midwest leg of the tour, so that should be exciting. Okay, so here we are. We're at we've covered all the Rainbow albums at this point. We've covered live performances from the Dio era, live performance, pretty much one of the only live videos from the Bonnet era. And now here we are, live Between the Eyes, the JLT era, in full effect. This is probably, I don't know, would you say, Chris, this is the pinnacle of the JLT era right here?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, this is obviously Straight Between the Eyes tour, so they would just have one album left after this. I think this is their peak. I think Ben Out of Shape was on par with Straight Between the Eyes, but it didn't have quite as many radio hits, if I remember correctly, at least in the Detroit area. So I think this is really the pinnacle of their aspirations, purported that they wanted to be Foreigner. So I think they got to that point with Straight Between the Eyes, and just to be clear, that's not a bad thing coming from me. I love this era of the band and this type of material. The much lambasted corporate rock, as the Elvis Costello looking critics like to say. And that's a ripoff from David Lee Roth. He's like, ripping on the critics. He's like, well, what do you expect from a bunch of guys who look like Elvis Costello? They're gonna like bands that look like themselves, So
It's true.
But yeah, no, I think I think this lineup was the most cohesive. I mean, saying the word cohesive in the context of Rainbow is kind of silly because they just didn't have. Correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't have the same lineup from one album next to their whole career, right?
No, there are a few like stragglers, I think, who I know there was that whole time where they fired Tony Carey from the band, but then he brought him back for couldn't find anybody to replace him, so he asked him to come back and do a few songs on the next album.
Without fact checking that, I'd be willing to bet money that Chris was right on that one.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, I mean, yeah, some musicians, the good ones lasted 3 albums, I think, and for the most part. Well, actually, yeah. I don't know if anybody went more than 3 albums in a row other than Richie.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess Roger Glover would have done 4 albums. But yeah, it's for the most part. Yeah, it's just funny because he's so fire happy that he brings back the guys he just fired to come help out on the next album. And they come and help out, which is,
as long as the paycheck's there. But
yeah, they call that Bob Daisley syndrome.
Yes. Yeah, Daisley just kept coming back to Ozzy again and again, but
Yeah, he just wanted that punishment.
Yeah.
hopefully he had a better deal in the later stuff with as far as
Mm.
residuals.
But yeah, I like this lineup. And I think maybe my opinion of Cohesion is influenced by the fact that I never saw them live, but have seen this concert video, and I just thought, I don't know, I was totally into it back in the day, and I expect I'll be into it again decades later tonight. But they definitely seem to be firing on all cylinders on stage.
So on this album, the lineup we have is, I'm sorry, on this performance, Roger Glover on bass, Bobby Rodinelli on drums, Richie, obviously, David Rosenthal on keyboards, and Jill Lynn Turner on vocals. So you've got like,
Nice.
this is like a Billy Joel Rainbow here, because you got the two guys from,
New
oh,
York.
no, that's Chuck Berge. That's Chuck Berge. I'm sorry. So it's David Rosenthal, who goes on to Billy Joel, and Chuck Berge, who takes over, I think, for Bobby Rodinelli, goes on to Billy Joel.
Oh, I didn't know.
Not the most obvious transition from Rainbow to Billy Joel, but pretty
Hey, man.
amazing.
Yeah.
So you've got like 3/4 of Deep Purple in the band at one point, and 2/5 of Billy Joel. An odd marriage.
Mm.
So this was produced by Aubrey Powell, this whole album, who was a producer and worked with Hypnosis, who is that album art firm. So the album art for this is not great, but it was designed by the same people who did like Pink Floyd Animals, Wings, Venus and Mars, the Led Zeppelin Presence album, Deep Purple, Nobody's Perfect. They did that famous box set that Zeppelin came out with, was like 1990, the one that like everybody had.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a classic album art producer there. And then the film was directed by Nigel Gordon, who doesn't have any other credits, and all the photography on the cover is by Ross Halfin, the famous legendary rock photographer. And this was performed on August 18th, 1982 at the San Antonio Convention Center, San Antonio, Texas. So not a huge venue, but seats about 2,300. Nice. Would have been a great
But
place.
everything was bigger in Texas.
That's right.
Apparently not.
Well, that place would have only had 500 seats anywhere else.
Touche.
Okay, so before we move on, we'll just thank our next level of patrons, and then we'll go right into the concert. And here we go. Thanks to our foundation level patrons, we have at the $3.50 Deep Purple New York tier, we have Lord Longford. At the £3 Aromatic Feed tier, we have Simon Ford and Richard Brees. At the $3.33 Halfway to Evil tier, Stephen Sharp and Duncan Leask. At the $3 Nobody's Perfect tier, we have Peter Gardeau, Ian DeRosier, the Prague Frog, Mark Roback in the chat, Stuart McCord, Ivan Fieldboo, Runar Simonson. Oh wait, I'm doing the wrong group. JJ Stannard and Ruinous Inadequacies. Joining us in the chat, we have the one, the only, John Maselli.
The Sheik of Spares, the Lord of Lanes. What? Oh, no. How swollen is it? Well, what'd you stick it in there for?
Should the children be hearing this?
Michael Boyette, Corey Morissette, and Ashley, Still I Hear Burn. Ooh, where is it?
Still I hear burn.
All right, so we'll do the rest of them at the end of the show, since I messed everything up with the order there. All right. So here we go. Yeah, they get a little bit they get bumped up to the middle of the show for this week. So
Yeah, I figure I felt like something was wrong. I'm like, I feel like we're toward the end for some reason. What's
yeah,
going
I
on
skipped
here?
right. Yeah, I felt like, man, we're wrapping up the episode already.
Great show, yeah.
Okay. So here we are, ready to get into it. We have, let me share my screen with you. This is Rainbow Live Between the Eyes, and this is from the DVD release. Thank you, a big thank you to Craig Smith for sending this over to me. And here we go, Live Between the Eyes.
Late summer,
Late summer,
San Antonio.
yeah. I like Chris's narration.
Gunshots ring out.
Yeah, right?
It's like The Walking Dead.
9:23 p.m. is very precise. Looks like a ghost town. What's going on here?
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Now you're reading the newspaper on the street here. Oh, looking at the rainbow ad.
With Saxon opening.
Saxon was the opener.
We
Huh?
must be over the rainbow.
Oh.
Rainbow.
He's- oh no! The guitar came right between his eyes. It's a little bit of more theatrical opening. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of this, but I've never seen the whole thing, so I missed that.
So one of the things when I originally saw this for the first time, is that how we should do it? Just talk through it and you guys can hear me and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing that just drew me in immediately was like how much Richie, manipulates the pickup selector and the knobs and stuff throughout this whole concert. He's just constantly doing that. I hadn't seen a lot of, hardly any, if any, Deep Purple footage up until this point. Was that something he did throughout his career, or was he just kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's pretty active. I know there's some songs even. It's what is it? Lay Down, Stay Down, or was it where he does that little like thing, and you can actually hear him on the album. He like starts with the wrong pickup, and he flips the switch to a different
Yeah.
pickup because he's not happy with it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I
I've
even
seen
know
interviews-
the Denmark 72 show, I just remember them being burned in my brain. Him just like during his solo, like just fiddling the knobs and flipping the switches, and like his left hand is going like this. I'm like, what is this guy even doing right
Yeah,
now?
right. Exactly.
The eyes are lowering down on the stage. They don't really look so much like eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of a Spinal Tap-esque bit here with the it's a little bit low tier effect, but yet it's kind of cool at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, Michael Bagford said Coverdale would have changed the design of those eyes.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool. They're
Yeah.
like looking around the audience,
Yeah, I mean that part's cool. It's just a tad like
Suggestive.
budget level
Yeah.
stage setup.
I think Coverdale did put a deposit down on those, but then he changed he changed his mind.
Yeah, they had started them for a Whitesnake show, and then they're like, oh shit, they don't want them anymore. But I heard Rainbow wants some eyes.
Well, Coverdale would have wanted it as a set of testicles, probably. Keeping with his general theme, and then just thrust the mic stand up between them like he used to do.
Perfect.
I'm getting inside of Coverdale's head right now, and I'm pretty sure I have an accurate representation of his mindset for this stage decor.
I think you got it covered.
Yeah, Richie just killing it here. I mean,
And he's coming out on the first solo doing the, on top of the fretboard thing. Like usually saves that for the end.
and like I said, I probably saw this for the first time around '83, probably soon after it came out. And by that time, I had acquired my first real quality guitar. I started playing in '79.
Yeah.
And my first real quality guitar was a late 70s Strat.
Oh, nice.
It was red, black pickguard, rosewood fingerboard. So I'm, seeing Richie play his guitar, and I'm like, mine doesn't sound like this. What am I doing wrong here? I don't know why
What settings is he using?
my guitar sounds so lame and he's sounding so awesome. But
He must
but
have
I-
a 6-way switch instead of a 5-way.
Yeah.
He's got one more.
But I always loved the 70s Strat with the bigger headstock and the bigger black logo. I'm a
Yep.
big fan of that look. Okay, it's time to talk JLT now. The real star of the show.
Let's get into it.
Gotta love that fringe jacket. I actually acquired a fringe jacket within the past few months. I wore it to the last Fozzy show I saw.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a
Where'd you
black,
come across one of those?
the antique mall kind of opened up near my house, and
Oh, okay, yeah.
they have all the booths, different vendors. and
Is that the
stuff,
one
and-
that has the big billboard and they advertise that they have a podcast?
I did not notice that, but they do
There's-
have some billboards up along 94 down there.
Yeah, there's one when I'm driving down 94, like going towards Indiana. It's like a flea market or something, and there's like, we have a podcast that you can listen to. I was like, wow, that
We
must be a
should
pretty intense
force
flea
our way onto that.
market. Exactly.
But it's America's Antique Mall, and one of the booths had this jacket. It happened to be my size, and I snapped it up. It's pretty great. So I'm feeling a kinship with JLT here,
Even more so than normal.
which makes me very happy. Feeling good about myself right now.
That's
Better
funny,
than I
Roger's got,
did.
like, he's playing like the precision bass with the same like beige with white pickguard that Richie has.
Wow.
Spotlight Kid, pretty intense opener.
Yeah, nice finish there from Rondinelli. Good drumming. This is a great fucking song right here. I think sure I spoke highly of it when I was on the original episode, but
Yeah, I don't remember the exact rankings, but
this song is great. This is JLT telling a woman what's what.
we've seen Dio where in the live performance a similar. He was more of the Ozzy style fringe setup, but this is
Yeah.
like a fringe leather jacket, updated for the 80s.
Yeah, less hippie, a little more Western glam, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Looks
it
good,
matches
though.
like the Miami Vice look that Roger has, like that Mark Roback just commented on.
Nothing wrong with the Miami Vice look.
Not at all.
In fact, I often say a slight hijack here, but my favorite era of Eric Clapton is Miami Vice Clapton in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty
Ladies
good
in the
then.
Pastel shirts. Yeah.
The Forever Man era, that type of thing.
Yeah, he had some good stuff around then.
Yeah, I thought so. Polished, highfalutin stuff, but I preferred it to a lot, actually to all of his other stuff. It's my favorite era.
So there are backup singers here.
I was going to ask about that before we started when you were listing the members of the band. I wondered, are the female singers, I can't remember if they're shown on the screen, but are they credited at all?
They are credited. Dee Beale is one of them, who has no other credits other than this Rainbow release. And then another one that's listed as Un Robinson, UN Robinson, but then it says also known as Lynn Robinson, which so I don't know if that's just like a misinterpretation of it written out, but also just kind of credited on these releases. They sound great. I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
ever catch a glimpse of them, but JLT's wearing, he's got his jacket open, he's wearing something with like the Japanese characters all over it.
It was another big style thing in the 80s, the rising sun motif, Japanese letters. Somebody was just commenting about seeing Richie bouncing around like a little kid is funny to watch. I'm sure some nose whiskey was involved in that behavior. Was the 80s after all.
I don't think Richie ever touched the stuff.
You don't think so?
No, word has it that he did.
You believe that?
He liked his booze, but well, according to what Glenn Hughes wrote in his book and all that, it seems like Richie was kind of looked down on. While he would consume alcohol, he kind of looked down on the drug aspect of things.
Huh. Well, Glenn Hughes would be a reliable source on that. He wouldn't have any reason to lie about that.
You'd figure if he did, then they would have kind of been buddies.
Yeah. The original toxic twins.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you could really tell when Richie is having a good performance. You could just tell in his body language.
And you can tell when he's happy to be there.
They say it can't happen here.
My theme song.
Yeah, he's into it, man. He's having a good time.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the show, he went launching that solo. He's looking over at Roger and smiling. He's coming over to
Yeah.
You know, if he's in a bad mood, he just kind of stays on his side of the stage and he does his job.
Lights shit on fire occasionally.
Punches cameramen.
California Jam style.
I think the cameraman's safe tonight. Bass is really snarling there.
Yeah.
I do like the addition of the backup vocalists.
Yeah, exactly. They should bring him on stage like Motley Crue does, dancing around, dressed up in leather. JLT would not be opposed to that, I would think.
I'm sure not.
And one,
course,
maybe one of those
they probably
names was
sequestered
synonym for Erica
themselves.
Fargo.
Yeah, they probably sequestered themselves out of fear that they would just jump on JLT and
They
miss
couldn't
set.
control themselves.
You know, they couldn't guarantee professionalism if they were standing right next
Richie looks insane.
to him. Yeah.
Richie looks like he just spotted a cameraman.
Either that or he's located the monitor mix guy who he's going to kill after the set for not doing his job right. It looked like he went like to his ear and did one of these. Like, give me more monitor. Who knows? Or it could have just been simply a woman flashing him her you know what. So who knows? He's having a good time though, man.
Yeah, this is what makes it so enjoyable to watch, aside from the music just being spot on.
Yeah, they're all into it, man. This is energetic. You know, you never know what you're gonna get with Blackmore Rainbow, but you got your money's worth if you were there for this one.
Oh yeah, they picked a good show to film.
Man, Richie is just going nuts.
Jeez.
Might be as a result of the tightness of that necklace. It might be getting to him a little bit.
He just look like he's yanked a chord out of it. Like you can tell when he's really into it when he's not even playing his guitar. He's just slapping it and putting his hands on the wrong side, and he's just pumping his fist more than he was playing.
Doing a little jig, you know.
And it's a nice, faster tempo. You getting that live energy, but it's not crazy fast where it's like not good. It's like an accelerated pace, but right where it needs to be to just like still be grooving and rocking, but just filled with energy.
Yeah, sometimes bands get a little too over, the nose whiskey, as you put it, comes into play, and the tempo is just out of control.
The Rolling Stones from this era, from the Tattoo You tour. I can't remember the name of that live album, but those tempos are just off the hook, unlistenable.
Wow.
Nice. Did he say San Antone? Like he was a...
Sure did.
So now we're going into
Tearing Out My
Heart.
Dude.
Richie's making the most insane faces.
My God.
Odd guy, man.
Yeah.
First time I saw your face, by your side was the only place that I would wanna be.
No, we were talking earlier. I was going to bring up. I know I've read an interview with Richie where he says he just throws his switch into the all the way down or all the way up. I can't remember which one he said, and he never touches it. But I've never seen that in play. He always seems to be fiddling with something.
Yeah, somebody just said this is one of their favorite JLT era songs. Absolutely, this is top shelf stuff all the way. Especially with that extra infusion of energy in the live set.
Wow, look at Bobby with the drumsticks. He's putting on a show back there.
It's got the requisite gong. I wonder if, can't remember if that comes into play at any point.
Yeah, it's always great when it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just there.
The roadies love that. You just set up the gong. He never hits it, but we got to transport it anyway.
We can lug this goddamn thing around. Vocals. Whoa.
Shaking his ass a little bit.
He almost is borrowing some of his style from the first album on that one.
He's doing it all. Not even 20 minutes in, and he's doing it all.
Yeah, he's really treating this like a sprint.
I love those little hand cues. Jimmy Page used to do those a lot with Zeppelin. It's like he's conducting the band.
Mm-hmm.
And we love when Richie conducts himself. He'll be playing just himself and he'll do these little things like this.
Yeah. He's that much of a control freak where he has to conduct himself.
So he doesn't screw up. It looked almost like he was kissing or taking a bite out of his guitar. He just brought it up to his face there.
I wonder if they filmed a few dates on this tour and just landed on this one because it was so awesome. But I'd be surprised if this wasn't the peak of the tour. I mean, if they got any better, that would be pretty incredible. They're smoking on this performance.
Oh yeah. I mean, really, the other thing that makes it good too is that this was official release, right? So,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
oh, yeah.
I mean, the camera work is good. The sound was mixed well. And we've seen some shows where like we've had like these horrible camera angles. Like, hey, Richie's doing a great solo. Too bad all we can see is like the back of the guitar neck.
Right, yeah.
It's usually at his own insistence that no cameraman be within 30 feet of him or whatever, but it is.
Well, if you can take restraining orders out on cameramen.
Oh, they should have them out on him. But a lot of the times, even on pro recordings, they you know they'll be focused on the singer dancing while there's a guitar solo going on. But this cameraman, or at least the director or whoever, seems to know what's up.
What's up?
Yeah, this is. Great live arrangement here where they do this up-tempo section at the end. Pretty great.
Yeah, this is really good.
Like up until this point, you might be thinking in the back of your mind that it was a little too early for the down-tempo song, but that all went away when we kicked into this part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's way ahead of his time. He's got a Taylor Swift bracelet on. Foreshadowing to 40 years later. Richie was a Swiftie back then. The jacket's off,
Oh,
Yep.
boy. JLT's getting serious now.
taking it to the next level now. Oh, come on now. Epic live version of that song. Man.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Hit the gong, baby. Oh,
He's
here's your
saving it, still
chance.
saving it.
Damn. Woo. That was good.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
Throwing a
M
little
Bags,
lazy
telling
there.
it like it is. Superb
Mhm.
is the right word for that rendition.
Yep.
Oh, somebody's holding the rainbow sign up. Like, we're throwing a super up-tempo little bit of lazy here.
This sounds anything but lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh-oh.
he's doing his little Deep Purple greatest hits in the middle of the show
Ooh.
here.
He has a little purple medley.
Yeah, I love seeing the 70s strat in this show. And I was like, yeah, I need to practice more.
Yeah.
I need to get
Yes.
more serious with mine. Oh, yeah.
Well, so far there hasn't been a dud.
Oh, no.
What's he,
at
what
Richie.
is he doing?
Look on his face.
He's like, this is me trying to look sexy. It's like you're
Yeah, it
doing
looked
it.
like he was doing Blue Steel.
You're doing it wrong, Richie. You look frightening right now. Scaring people. Stop it.
Damn. Those backing singers are killing it on that part.
Oh
They're
yeah.
getting no credit. There's not even a light on them. You can't even see
Yeah.
them in the background.
Where are they over? Richie's side? They
have no
behind the
idea.
stacks or something?
I think it's like a nice way too to fill out his vocals, so he doesn't have to night after night hit those high notes. So it just kind
Oh,
of,
yeah.
you know, gives him a rest as well. Like, so if he can't hit those notes, the background singers hit it.
It looks like this is the only song they do from the Bonnet era.
Yeah.
And they do one from the Dio era. We just haven't gotten there yet.
Well, you're doing a great job on the Bonnet song.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
Oh,
I can't remember the last time we
yeah.
watched Richie play live on the show, but it must have been like a late Deep Purple show or something because he was not that into it at all.
No, it's. I mean, I'm watching this and I'm thinking these guys are feeling it,
Yeah, man.
and that's what you want. That's what we want to see when you're watching one of these.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're getting what they paid for with this show.
I don't get what I pay. I didn't even pay for it. I would.
Yep, Roger's got the tambourine back out.
Kind of doing that call and response thing he used to do with Gillen a little
Yeah,
bit.
there you go. Hints harkening back to the old days. They should roll out a set of congas for JLT.
Look at he brought out a big mallet, Chris.
Uh-oh. Is he gonna he's gonna hit the gong? And there it is.
Yes, there it is.
Hit it.
He put the drumstick in his teeth and he reached. He just brought it out.
Drum roadies are like, okay, we don't have to kick his ass after the show. Yeah,
They'll just start packing it up now.
yeah, right.
We're gonna get a jump on it.
Wheel it off stage mid-set like Nick Jones style. Interesting song to bust out the gong to. You don't expect
right.
it in this one.
It was very planned. It's kind of funny that the bass player is playing a tambourine, but the singer is not. You know, when the singer could easily do it, but there's just no bass.
No, JLT's got to work on being sexy over here.
That's it takes two hands to be sexy.
Yeah, he's running his fingertips down to his groin area. He can't be bothered with the tambourine.
No, like a Roger Crockett can do that over there.
Exactly. Right.
Like David Rosenthal's wearing that like too short vest with no shirt underneath.
Yeah, they call it the half shirt vest. With a crop top vest.
Pretty much, right?
With a crop vest.
And those, yeah, JLT's pants are painted on there. Look at those things.
Hey, this was the time for it. This was the era.
Oh, the eyes are gone.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
San Antonio.
That's unexpected. Throwing a lot of little medley stuff, things in here.
Hmm.
JLT's like, you're not gonna make me sing this, are you?
He's like, hey, wait, we didn't talk about this.
I don't care who you are. If somebody makes you sing this, you're like, I'm not doing it. There's one person on the planet who can sing that song. Correct me if I'm wrong or if you have a differing opinion, but
No, you're.
No, I'm gonna have to agree.
unbelievable vocal performance. And why would anyone even attempt it?
There's a reason no one else ever did attempt
Yeah,
it. And
no,
even in
I
Deep
mean-
Purple.
Let's just say there are others that can, but they shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, there are others that can, but why would they? I mean, why would you attempt it? I mean, this is obviously, you know, giving the guys a break with the keyboard solo. But
Yeah.
since he teased Child Time, I mean, that vocal performance on the studio version is just straight up unbelievable.
Hmm.
Nobody's attempting that. I don't care who you are. Pavarotti is not attempting that.
See, that Pavarotti and Gillan could have performed it together.
Pavarotti plays a mean set of congas too, I heard.
He's got to do something when the band's on one of those long solos.
In fact, I think he was originally supposed to be on the Born Again album, and they just couldn't get it together.
There's a scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
About you and me and what's in between. So many changes, so many lives. I try to run, try to hide from everything that I feel inside, but I can't escape.
Now we talked about my love for this song on the first, the Straight Between the Eyes episode.
Yes.
The thing that I love about Blackmore and bands in general is probably going to disappoint me on this one, because I guarantee you that he's not going to play the solo like he did on the studio version.
Right, yeah,
That
especially
one,
Richie.
that one's a masterpiece. That studio version of the Stone Cold solo. incredible. Composition, the phrasing, amazing. We'll see what he
Yeah,
does
there's-
on this one, though.
There's a few solos he'll duplicate, but I don't think this is one of them.
I was hoping to make it right, but you are so distant, so far away.
I got these hasty little fills in here from Blackmore.
Yeah.
Roll on the ground, making the silence without a sound. 8 million strangers got nothing to say. Searching in the darkness, laying outside.
If you showed up to the show, maybe you were, the jury was still out for you on Rainbow. Maybe you're still a little butthurt that Dio isn't still in the band. You're going to be a convert after watching this performance.
Oh, there's the eyes.
There they
See, the eyes are a little more high tech now. You get that sort of texture in the like with the lighting brings out a little more sort of
It's like you can see the blood
artistic-
vessels. In
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's no solo at all so far.
Oh, you know what? That's right.
Wow. That's
Why would-
interesting.
Why would he do that?
Maybe they're cutting into it now. No, they left it out completely. That's surprising.
Unless they flipped it around and he's going to do it at the end.
Oh,
I guess
Oh,
not.
wow.
maybe he agrees with me that the studio version simply can't be topped, so we're just going to leave it out of the live version.
All right.
That was the decision. Well, you know he's going to probably do a 15-minute solo at later, so maybe just figure you leave it for that.
I think Matola's favorite song is coming up here.
Oh,
The one I wasn't man enough to give 5 stars to, but he was. Yep, here it is.
All right, now it's my turn to swoon.
There you go.
whoa, they're getting really bloodshot, those eyes. I think they left and went and smoked up in the parking lot.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
What's he got wrapped around his hand?
Got a cloth on his mic.
Looks like he has an ice pack in his hand, like he punched a wall or something, and they brought him an ice pack.
Kind of getting used to the eyes. Like at first I'm like, these are cheesy, and now I'm like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Yeah, the only reason these weren't referenced in Spinal Tap is because it came out probably earlier the same year. Or like a few months later or whatever. You know, it came out in 82.
Now they're homing through the crowd. That's a nice move.
Yeah, it's like terrifying. It looks like they're looking for somebody. Like out of a science fiction novel or something.
Enjoying this, John?
Oh yeah, this is great. This is just as great as the album version.
Oh, wait. this one definitely benefits from that extra jolt of energy. Really, all of them have, but this one especially.
Wow, look at how scalloped those frets are.
Yeah, I never knew he
Wow.
did that until Ingve came on the scene, but yeah, pretty awesome.
I don't think he did it in the Deep Purple days, but I think he was probably, I don't know when he started doing it. It'd be a good thing to look into. Have you ever played a guitar with scalloped frets?
Yeah, I've tried it. You have to have a really light touch. It's just
Yeah, that's what I've
really-
heard. Like if you
You literally have to just glide over it, and that's I don't have that. You have to adjust your whole approach to it.
I know there's a story, I can't remember who it is, but Richie letting somebody play his guitar with scalloped frets and just laughing at them because they didn't know how you had to play it so much differently, and it just sounded awful because you press, if you give any effort or force into those strings, you're basically bending the note up, and it
Yeah.
sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But you can tell just watching the way his fingers moved on this, like that he was absolutely, even for him, at the top of his game. Just looks so effortless. Wow.
Oh yeah. I'll see you at 5 and raise you another 5.
Yeah. No, I'll never catch up to you on that, and that it pains me to admit it, but we're among friends here. I can admit it.
Yeah.
I'm outclassed in that area. I'm appreciation for power. Fully appreciating power and playing a Fender Telecaster, I'm not man enough to do either one. Admit it. That's real man stuff right there.
Nice.
The blues is only Rainbow can play them.
Not
Is
often you hear-
Rosenthal? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just not often you hear like a Moog blues solo like this.
Is he still with Billy Joel?
I think he is. I think something came across my timeline recently. I think he's been playing with him for, God, 40 years or something.
Wow.
And Bergie, I don't know if he's been playing with him recently, but I know Liberty DeVito played with him forever.
Yeah, but they had a falling out. I think what is it? That Netflix documentary, like Hired Hands or something, about
Oh, okay.
famous sidemen.
Yeah, I Hired Guns, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I saw that a while ago. It was pretty good.
Yeah, Liberty didn't speak too highly of how Billy Joel treats people. So
No.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, so he's played with Billy Joel since '93.
Jeez.
Pretty good run.
Yeah.
Again, talking about a good paycheck. I mean,
Yeah, no
you
shit.
get a gig like that, you hold on to it.
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Oh, he's got out the screwdriver. I mean, the slide.
You can tell this isn't going to be a 30-second solo.
That JLT playing a guitar back there?
Oh yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
strapped on a piece. Who
He's
knew?
one of the very few people, maybe one of the only ones I can think of that Richie allowed to play guitar on stage.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
it's a Gibson SG at that.
P90 version.
You wonder if
More
Richie
stuff
actually-
that's that I'm not man enough for. P90 pickups.
What's the deal with them?
It's just a little fatter single coil, but I don't know. Single coil pickups, I just can't get them to work for me.
Oh, easy, JLT. He's doing some Guitar Hero moves. The way he's hiding behind Roger, it makes you wonder if Richie actually even knows he's playing guitar on stage.
It's like maybe Richie won't notice.
You risk getting the Graham Bonnet treatment, a guitar up over the back of your skull.
Mark Roback said they would have played Providence, Rhode Island on this tour on July 25th. Were you there, John?
No. I was
I couldn't-
6.
I couldn't make it that day either.
But
Wow,
you
listen
said
to
this
how
was
tight that is.
you said this was what, August? This show? Yeah, so I mean imagine like this very show coming to our neck of the woods.
Probably would have played the Civic Center, I'm sure. Yeah, it would have been 5. Well, almost 5. Yeah, it's like Roger's like glow in the dark. Oh, and there's a lighter in the foreground there.
Wow.
All the lights are on.
Rosenthal bringing the drama to this set.
Yeah.
Right. Oh wow, they actually just cut to the audience out of nowhere for the first time in the entire show. In another couple years, they would have forced the keyboardists to be backstage with the singers.
Hmm.
This is kind of the end of the era
Oh, he's
where they
doing that,
actually allow them on stage.
throwing water on people.
Wow.
Yeah,
Only,
in a playful way. Usually he's doing it in an angry way.
Oh.
Yeah, Raf Kaff, our resident San Antonio patron, commenting that when we did see the crowd, it was women.
Yeah. I mean, they're for JLT, no doubt,
How could you not?
and possibly Rosenthal.
Oh, Roger threw his
Oh.
fedora into the audience.
Roger is now hatless. I repeat, hatless.
It's not often you see him
He's-
on stage with no hat on.
He's regretting this decision already. It's like, what did I just do?
He's gonna come back out with like a top hat.
Yeah, he's consulting his backstage travel haberdasher to find out if he's got anything else he can replace it with.
Give me the newsboy for the rest of the set.
He doesn't even have a base tech.
The bass tech helps out with a gong.
He's a backup gong man. It's funny, you know, when every band I go to see nowadays has like 25 guitars on stage, and Richie and Roger just been playing the same ones this whole time.
Yeah, I wasn't going to comment on that.
Simpler times.
And
Richie
they're
will
playing aggressively. It's not easy to keep a guitar in tune under those conditions.
Richie will usually switches to like a cheapo guitar that he can smash if he's so inclined, but yeah, it seems like every show I see now they're tuning the guitar between having a freshly tuned guitar between every song and switching it out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, nah, I don't know. Things are too sterile these days, I think.
I think you're right.
Sorry, I gotta go grumpy old man here.
I think a lot of it has to do also with endorsement deals. Like guys got to bust out the, the certain model to put it on display for people.
Yeah,
true.
that's a good point. Yeah, if we're endorsing you, you can't just show one of our guitars. You've got to switch through.
Yeah,
6 different. Oh, I like that red one. That's a really nice one. I've been instructed by one of our listeners, Steve Hunt, not to go to the bathroom during the drum solo at the Glenn Hughes show. He said it was awesome.
Okay. Who else is on that bill? Is that Enough's Enough opening up? And
Enough's Enough and Bad Marriage.
Oh, that's with the Tommy Sciacca, formerly of Tesla, apparently. however you pronounce it.
We got into a whole aside on that in one episode. It just sounds like something you say when you stub your toe.
Right.
Well, it should be a good show.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and then John's going to see him like 6 days later. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming down here, the Hobart Art Theater, down in this neck of the woods.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, come on.
He's pointing
He's
at the
like,
audience.
I'm over it. You ain't giving me what I need.
Oh, he's playing with his hands now.
Yeah.
Classic.
Channeling
like hell.
Channeling his inner bottom.
Now he's like, knock it off.
You better hit that gong.
He's gonna hit the gong with his head.
I bet she finishes off the solo with the gong. I'm gonna.
It'll be the second time it is used. Oh.
Come on, great way to end a solo.
He's just looking at the like. I'm so disappointed in this crowd.
He's a showman.
I feel like everybody in this band is a showman.
He's saying the right hand side. You guys are okay. But... What's he doing? I think I'm gonna have trouble following these directions he's giving.
Yeah, Roback said he took mime lessons. Now he's like, I'm in a box.
Glass box. Yeah. Oh, he's getting some sticks back out.
Checking his armpit deodorant.
Oh, he brought up the mallet again.
I told you.
Oh,
Yep, here he goes. One. Oh,
He's
oh.
teasing us.
Yeah, he's like, do you want me to do it? Should I do it? Yes or no? No, they're not loud enough. He's not going to do it. Oh, he's putting it away. Nope. What a clown. He's having them count to 4 now. Yeah, I don't want Bobby Rodinelli on my team for charades. Oh wow, he hit it right with the pyrotechnics.
Wow.
That's
It's like,
funny.
yeah.
He just hit those cymbals again, but nothing happened. There was no sound.
Like, yeah, that's how you do that shit. Oh, see that? Roger's got his backup fedora.
So he probably had a cheapo one on, like Richie does. He gets the cheap guitar to smash. They give him the cheap fedora, and he throws it out in the crowd. They give him the real one.
there you go.
Are they playing down like a half step? I feel like they're not playing in the original key of the song.
Maybe. That seems weird because it's not like, I mean, JLT
Yeah.
higher voice than Dio.
I mean, also this key could be better suited to his vocal
maybe.
delivery. The way it sounds good.
I mean, it's pretty great that, you know, JLT would have only been in the band for what, like a couple of years at this point, max. But the set is largely his songs. It's only, well, I guess there's one more song, but he's got 3 songs by other people and 9 by his lineup, which is pretty good. These days, I feel like you're just doing all the legacy stuff. Richie's all the way over by David Rosenthal. Doesn't usually make it that far over on stage.
Wow.
Definitely given a lot of Mr. Bean faces on this one.
Yeah. You know, I was skeptical about a Dio era song, but they're handling it really well.
I think this one is. I think if it came to the subject matter of like the wizards and swords and sorcery stuff, that JLT wouldn't deliver it the same way.
I
Yeah.
mean,
It's hard to get yourself into that.
I mean, it's not like you
Dio.
like bust out like Gates of Babylon or something,
Yeah.
and it would be convincing with him.
Richie, I mean, you could do like a whole photo montage of just the faces he's made in this concert.
You should.
Yeah, I should. Somebody should send me the timestamps.
No, I mean, do you really feel like singing?
So, Chris, there's a Deep Purple live concert in Czechoslovakia where JLT says, "My Czechoslovakian is not so good, but do you guys have sex?" It's like one of the worst stage banters of all time.
And that was when he was fronting Purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like the wrong band to do that with
Yeah.
besides. So it's like
Yeah, bad move.
you could just see John Lord in the background going, what the hell are we doing here?
It's an odd time.
Hence Raf Cap's "My Texan is not that good." Oh, it's like, oh, it's all like the little sparks from the pyrotechnics raining down on the stage.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh, they got fireworks up there, up top too.
Wow. Oh, another shot of the audience there.
What is he trying to
I
play?
don't know what he's trying to do. He's got like a cord. It looks like he's tangled up in that cord.
This looks like one of his cheapo guitars, so he might be smashing it here.
Yeah, it might be.
Weird shaped headstock, no logo on. Yeah, that's a $150 job. It's gonna be firewood.
It looks like it's got a Telecaster head on it, or
Yeah.
neck and head.
That
on a
there's a
strap body.
smashing guitar. That's what that is.
Although it looks like it's still got scalloped fretboard there. So.
Yeah, he's like, even for my smashing guitar, you got to make sure these frets are scalloped.
I need to at least be able to play it.
Yeah, they do look scalloped. Or they just could be one of those guitars where like the frets
No, they're
just stick up so far.
They're definitely scalloped. You can see from that angle.
Maybe like somebody tried to scallop it and kind of did a hack job on it. He said, "Well, I'll just smash this one in the next show."
Yeah, he's treating it badly right now.
Yep. he like fell over. Now he's playing it lefty. Rubbing
Playing
on
with his
ass.
butt.
Rubbing on his ass, yeah.
Classic
Wiping his
Richie
ass
move.
with it, yeah.
Gonna hit some cymbals with it. There you go. Yeah, you can tell it's got that back panel is completely off of it already.
Rollback is like a bald.
What the hell is going on here?
Awesomeness. That's what's going on. Jesus.
Whoa!
Yep, he's got cheapo out.
He must have thrown that thing 20 feet in the air. There
Look
he goes.
out.
Look out. He's going to hit a home run.
Oh my! He cracked
jeez.
that neck first shot.
Oh my God.
What's that thing made of?
You can hear as a pow, pow, like echoing and shit.
Oh,
Jesus.
well, doing that is he broke when he threw that guitar up in the air. That's what he did with Purple. He threw it up and he caught it wrong and broke his thumb, and they had to cancel the rest of the tour.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's like looking to hand out the guitar. Oh, he just throws it to the audience.
Wow.
That's got to be a mad fight. Oh, now he gets the real one back out.
Yeah.
Could be handling this one a little more gingerly. So it had the different fretboard on that one, and I think that might have been because back in the day he accidentally was handed the wrong guitar and smashed one of his good guitars. So maybe that's why I said just save the rosewood fretboard for tonight. No, when I don't see it, I'll know it's smashing time.
Is he singing out of two mics?
He's holding two mics.
That's old school, man. Yeah, I used to have mics taped together for like some sort of feedback cue. Yeah.
Oh, the eyes are go working overtime right now. Moving fast.
They're like, everybody still here? Boom.
Thank you one more time. Everyone here, everyone at home.
Well, the LT sounded like he had a British accent when he was saying that. He was hanging out with those guys too long. Yep, the show's over. Pack it up, everybody. Nothing more to see here.
Get some
Yeah, I
Irish
mean,
cops.
what else could they possibly pull out at this
Yeah.
point?
Get some Irish cops in there. Show's over, folks. Nothing to see here. Yeah, what else could they do? I mean, really, what else do they have in their bag of tricks?
Nothing. There are no other songs that Richie Blackmore is known for, so I guess it's time to pack it up.
Yep. Well, see you later.
The lighters are starting to come on.
They're back. Wasn't sure if that was just canned music, band's music
Yeah, yeah.
pre-recorded.
Hmm.
Some people walked out already, and they shouldn't have.
They won't let him back in either. Sorry, we don't
Beat
let you
the
back.
traffic.
I love the way he plays slide. When he plays it, you can't even see that he's holding a slide.
Yeah, it's very unconventional.
Maybe if I tried holding a slide like that, I'd be able to do anything with a slide because I suck so bad at. I can't. I've never been able to get the hang of it.
I was on the verge of being decent at it, and then I just stopped doing it.
You're just like, yeah, this isn't. You sometimes some things you just gotta say, this just isn't my style, and it's not gonna be in my arsenal.
Well, we recorded a one song played slide on. Actually, it was pretty good, but like I said, when I switched bands after that, I just never kept at it. But like I said, I was on the verge of being pretty good at it. Oh, this song, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, that's right.
Forgot about that one.
Flaming Lips.
Have you heard the Flaming Lips?
I have not.
It's the only
Terrible.
song in the history of our show that John gave a 0 rating to.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
bad.
Horrible.
Not great.
Abysmal.
I mean, were they trying to be shitty with it, or do you think they were trying to have a good go at it and they just failed?
I think they were trying to be ironic with it.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
they're trying to
yeah, that makes
like-
sense.
look how quirky we are. We're doing it in a funny way, you know.
Like,
I
look, we're
hate
using
that.
we're using a keyboard from a toy store as our drum beat,
Right.
drum
Yeah,
machine.
that's not gonna fly with Mottola.
Nope. Out of here with that
Nope.
shit.
Time for that horse shit. Take your irony and shove it.
Now, previous to that, I didn't even know it was an option that you could give a song a 0. He's like, "Well, I'm doing it."
That's his show. It's like
All right.
what I tell Nick all the time. It's your show. Do whatever the fuck you want.
That's right. It threw off everything on the spreadsheet, but hey.
Big deal. I think just by the sound of it, I can tell it was justified.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't think you'd be a big fan either.
Flaming Lips, I believe, also a Texas band, if I'm not mistaken.
Are
Although
they
maybe,
really?
I think I might be wrong about that. Possibly Oklahoma. I gotta look this up now. Sorry, we're all this Flaming Lips talk, but somebody in the chat brought it up, so.
It's
Not my
it happens
fault.
more often than you think.
Yep, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Oh,
Close
there
to
you go.
Texas. When you spend your life in the Dust Bowl, you think it's a good idea to bust out the toy keyboard and smoke on the water. Bunch of jackasses.
Pretty good version of this. Richie didn't fuck up the riff at the beginning.
Another solo voided.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, just a little. We're gonna do a little short version of that. Oh, there he goes. The curly and the Moe and Curly thing. Nice. ALT sounds like a native the way he keeps saying San Antone.
He did his homework.
Yeah, we got a show in Mississippi after this.
Just watch out though. He comes to Boston and he says Beantown. It's over with. It's over with.
Oh no! Oh no! We've cut back to the guy with the newspaper catching on fire. I was wondering what happened to that guy. He's just looking around. This is a very creepy ending. So is he the guy whose eyes are on stage? Like, is that the narrative they're trying to lay down here?
I guess.
Yeah. I love when they just take like a perfectly good show like this and they have to tack on some goofy story before and after that's like 30 seconds long for no good reason. It's like he's reading the
Yeah, we don't
credits.
need that. Yeah, we don't need this shit.
I'm gonna run it till the bitter end here. Oh, and it's like a minute left.
Well, I mean, we could just talk.
Yeah, it's this eerie. Like... John Sykes. Special thanks to John Sykes.
What did he do?
I don't know. A very creepy ending. But
You know,
There you
tying
go.
it all together with that intro, the
Wow.
post-apocalyptic Texas scene, some guy darting his eyes around.
very weird. Boy, well, there you have it. Before we get into our
Hmm.
kind of closing thoughts on that, I will do a very weird thanking of our patrons since I screwed it up earlier. So where are we now here? We'll go to the core level and then into the rest of them. We've got at the core level at the $7.77 Keep It Warm Rat tier, we have Michael Vader. At the $6.99 new nice price tier, we have Spike the Rock Cat and Sugar Tea. At the episode $6.66 tier, we have Steve Coldwell and Arthur Smith.
Getting support from the patron Arthur Smith.
Anton Glaving and Charles Meadows. At the $6.65 Almost Evil tier, we have Kenny Wymore. Who else do we have? Oh, and Richie Sucksmith. At the $6 What's Going On Here tier, we have Richard Fusey. At the 60 kroner Scandinavian Nights tier, we have Knut Morten Johansson. Coming to us from Hell, Norway. At the $5 Moneylender tier, we have John Convery, German Heindel, Adrian Hernandez, Jesper Alman, Alexei the Perfect Stranger, Slepikov, Kev Roberts, Percival Frequency, Scott Zerns, Cynthia Doobie, Raf, Calf, and Coyote Bongwater. And then rounding out our core level patrons at the $1.71 I Want My Own tier, we have
Rich, Yangui, Shaylor.
at the 10 kroner tier, Karsten Lau. And at the $1 made up name tier, we have the Can't Leak It Here, Leaky Mausoleum, Stephen Somerville, the Concerto 1999 Fanatic, Hank the Tank, Private Eyes, Ashen Lionel,
Blackmore tights.
Steve Down to Earth Kohler, who's in the chat, Zwapper the Electric Alchemist, Anders Engstrom, ICDC, Derple Purple, and Purple Swede.
Swede.
All right, thank you so much to all of you for your generous support of the Deep Purple podcast. Oof. All right, guys. So that show, what do we have to say to wrap it up?
I mean, if we were rating shows, I'd give this one a 5 for sure. I think one of the things that I like about this, because we were talking about all the way through, is just like the energy everybody had, great set list. Excuse me. And one of the things that I noticed when a few weeks ago when we were watching the live White Snake show, and I made that comment then, is like, you don't see shows like this anymore. Like they were doing the same thing that White Snake was doing, extended jams, doing this different creative stuff with songs. It's like, I feel like you don't really see that anymore. Playing half songs, he left the solo out of Smoke on the Water. I'll just do whatever, everything's too scripted now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be right.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, I would guess I can't speak for like all music, but I mean, this was definitely cool to watch. I could see why everybody was giving it such high praise, because I haven't seen it until tonight.
Really? That's
Yeah.
right. You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I would definitely give it a 5 as well. And not just for nostalgic purposes. Like I said, this was, very early after we got MTV on our cable system. This was regular rotation in the Saturday night concert. I mean, I want to say it was on every couple of months until they started building up the library. And I never missed it. I mean, I thought it was great. And I recall them pulling, you would love this, John. They pulled the version of Power and had it going as his own standalone video in regular rotation throughout the day. So
good choice.
I distinctly remember that.
Good choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And for nostalgic purposes, it gets a 5, and then now seeing it again, probably for the first time, Jesus, at least 30 years, if not closer to 35 or possibly even 40 at this point. Just the energy and the sound, everything dialed in, the sound, set list, like you said, the different extended arrangement of Tearing Up My Heart, the tighter arrangement of Stone Cold and Smoke on the Water. Flawless performance, really. I can't think of anything I didn't like about it.
Yeah, incredible. To think that there was ever a time that this would be played in its entirety, or at least close to it on MTV. It's it's just awesome. And the Rainbow never made like the big huge splash in America the way it did in Europe. Well, bigger one, I guess, in Europe. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it's such a short. It's only even with the silly little story about the guy reading the newspaper that catches on fire is only an hour and 15 minutes. It's really not a long show at all for a headliner.
Do
But
you
they
think
crammed a lot in.
do you think that's a complete show, or do you think they left out any material?
I guess it's possible they did. I just don't know if they filmed the whole thing, why they wouldn't, especially like maybe on a DVD release, why they wouldn't have put anything back. But it seems like the VHS and the DVD both have the same runtime.
Yeah. I just think that's a short set time for a
Yeah.
headliner back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine anything being deemed unworthy in that performance. You got to believe that if that wasn't the complete set, any other stuff they did had to been, cracking like the rest of it. So who knows? But it just seems kind of $1.15 with, drum solos, keyboard solos, blues excursions. It just seems kind
Yeah.
of short. But who
Well, I'm
knows?
pulling up a set list from 1982, and it looks like they did. Maybe they did cut some stuff out. It looks like "Kill the King" they did after "Long Live Rock and Roll."
That would've been cool to
I
see.
heard a little bit of it in one of the medleys.
And then the German song that I can't pronounce, but Raf can. Maybe next time, before "Smoke on the Water." So maybe they cut out a little bit, but it's not like a crazy amount.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you extend it up to an hour and a half, that's close enough for jazz.
Yeah.
Just an hour 15 is pretty short, especially it just seemed typical back in the day that a song oriented band would give you at least an hour and a half, hour 45. But
Yeah,
Oh.
it's possible that was also
Yeah.
like a 20-minute version of "Kill the King" for all we know.
yeah,
But it seemed like the "Long Live Rock and Roll" it seemed like a pretty definitive end. So who
Well,
knows?
either way, I mean, it was it does what a good performance should do. It leaves you wanting more. Didn't
Yeah.
overstay its welcome, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Correct
I
on
could have
that.
easily rounded that up to 2 hours, and I would have been happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was that was a DVD release, right? And it said 06, so who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe maybe someday we'll get the uncut version.
Yeah, the missing 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, another we try to, at least with every band we cover, trying to cover at least one live performance and trying to find those definitive performances by specific lineup. So if you have any that you think we've missed, let us know. But that's our first JLT live performance, and it did not disappoint.
Nope, did not.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. And for those of us that don't know, where can they find you on a weekly basis?
As everybody says, wherever you get your podcasts, look for Pod of Thunder, podofthunder.com. You can see all our episodes, direct links to where you can download or stream them. We're up to we just released episode as of this recording, 546. So
Wow.
plugging along, and it's still fun for us. People still seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
So why not? Like I tell Andy, I go, if we can't muster up the effort to put out a podcast every week, we might as well just quit entertainment altogether. Because I mean, in terms of like, compared to schlepping gongs and 3 Marshall stacks around, this is a lot easier, and that, to be honest, a lot more fun, and then a lot more successful for me. So why stop now? So yeah, we're still going at it. No plans to quit anytime soon, but who knows what tomorrow will bring, but for now we're still at it. So if you never checked us out, I hope you can breeze in, see if you like it, and say thanks again to you guys for giving me another JLT fix. I'm not sure that was the smartest thing for me to watch this close to bedtime. Probably going to be
You're all
doing
worked
my
up.
I'm going to be doing my Richie Blackmore moves in the living room instead of going to bed to get out this pent up energy that instilled in me. But hey,
Yeah.
I'll live with it. That was cool. I haven't seen it in a while, but I loved it then, and did not disappoint all these years later.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
and
ton of
thanks for
fun.
doing what you guys do every week. It's always brings a smile to my face on Monday morning to find a new episode. And you know, as we're recording this, it's your first show of February for this year, your 5th year of doing February, and I
Correct.
totally forgot that it was February, and I pressed play and I heard that music and I said, "Oh yeah, this is going to be a good one." So I was excited, very
Yeah.
excited to hear that.
Yep,
Great way to
enjoying
start
it
the
so
week.
far.
Yeah, I think it's been catching on with people. It was a little shock to the system originally, and a lot of the skeptics weren't having it. But I think year 5 here, I think we're getting a lot more converts to it. Which
Yeah, and
you know,
you don't have to do a rock-based song every week. Doing other genres and stuff is really interesting. And
well, you know,
people grew up listening to different genres, not just
yeah.
one specific thing.
And it's it's February. It's the month of love. It's Valentine's Day this month. My wedding anniversary is this month.
Oh
Congratulations.
yeah.
You know, hey, if you can't get inspired by some of the material we bring out on February, you might want to see a physician. You got a problem. So
Hopefully Nick can redeem himself from his September pick.
yeah, he rolled the dice on that one and crapped out, I think. But yeah, no, I think he usually has something good up his sleeve, because this was his. Well, they were both his idea, but this was his original idea for this theme month. So I don't think he's going to take any chances. I think he's going to, bring his A game. So we'll find out in a couple weeks. I think Andy's choice is next. So we'll see what happens there.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to digging up some JLT in the future that we can have you back on to discuss. Or, it doesn't have to only be JLT, but if it is JLT, you can guarantee you'll be the first phone call we make.
I appreciate that. I'm not worthy, but I'll take it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. And John and I will be back with you next week for another episode. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Deep Purple Podcast. If you like what you hear and would like more episodes in the future, please donate on Patreon to support the show. You can also leave us a review in Apple Podcasts to help new people discover the show. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for show updates. See deeppurplepodcast.com for more details. Thank you for listening.